promoted, the other is overlooked. The difference doesn't lie in skill, but in vibration. One believes in their ability to receive abundance. The other operates from a hidden fear of not having enough. The universe doesn't distinguish between right or wrong, skilled or unskilled. It simply amplifies the exact energy you emit, nothing more, nothing less. What's troubling is that most people spend their entire lives misaligned and never realize it. They wake up each morning in the mindset of, I have to hustle to make money. They believe that the more they struggle, the more they sacrifice, the closer they'll get to abundance. But the truth is, the more you act from a place of lack, the more you reinforce that lack. It's like trying to unlock a safe with the wrong code. No matter how many times you turn the dial, the result is still zero. Every action, every thought, every word that stems from a sense of not having enough emits a vibration that repels money from coming closer. If you've ever wondered why someone who isn't smarter or more hardworking than you still lives a life of ease, here's the answer. They don't operate from the frequency of struggle. They don't send the universe the message, I need, but rather, I'm ready to receive. That is the difference between someone stuck in survival mode and someone flowing in the current of abundance. Abundance doesn't come after you have enough money. It comes from the way you choose to stand in this life as someone who already knows their worth. Poor people always think they need money in order to feel enough. Prosperous people understand that only when you feel enough does money begin to come. Not because you're proving anything, but because you're broadcasting the right signal. Money is neutral energy. It has no emotion, no bias, no concern for whether you're worthy. It only understands the language of vibration. If you emit the frequency of I trust, I am safe, I am open to receiving, money will flow to you like water finding its lowest point. But if you keep transmitting I lack, I'm unsure, I must work harder to deserve, you're creating an invisible barrier that repels every opportunity just as it nears. The difference between those constantly struggling with finances and those living in prosperity isn't that the latter work more, it's that they become a version that resonates with money. They behave as if money has always been present in their lives. They don't beg for money. They don't force money to arrive. They live and breathe as if money is a natural companion. The important question isn't, what do I have to do to make money, but what frequency am I emitting that's causing money to stay away from me? If you keep telling yourself, I always have bad luck, money's hard to earn, I don't know how to manage finances, then don't be surprised when those things keep repeating. The universe is extremely loyal. It doesn't oppose you. It simply mirrors back what you've been transmitting. Now is the time to stop and look honestly. Are you living as someone who is already wealthy from within? Is your mindset open and expansive? Do your words affirm or deny your self-worth? Do you dare to believe you're worthy even when you don't have anything yet? Because if you can't feel enough right now, you will never feel enough even with plenty. Money is not a reward for those who exhaust themselves. It is a natural response of the universe to the frequency you emit. So the real question is, what are you broadcasting each day? You can change jobs, move to a new place, learn new skills, even invest in the best strategies available in the market. But if the energetic layer within you still emits insecurity, anxiety, and a sense of insufficiency, then all those efforts are just surface-level movements. No one wants to hear this, but the truth is, lack does not begin with external circumstances. It begins with the misalignment within you. People often believe financial problems are caused by economic conditions, government policies, or poor decisions in the past, but all of these are merely external expressions of a deeper cause, a misalignment between your inner state and your inherent abundance. When your mind operates from the belief that I must struggle to get what I want, the universe won't argue with you. It simply responds to the frequency you emit, a frequency of exhaustion, worry, and inner conflict. You are not cursed, and you are not a victim of fate. You are simply broadcasting the wrong frequency, the frequency of doubt, of fear of not having enough, of self-limiting habits and the stories you've repeated in your head for years. I'm not good with money. I don't know how to manage money. I can never seem to have extra. These seemingly harmless phrases are actually vibrational contracts you've signed with lack. And until you decide to cancel those contracts, any external change will be temporary. There are people who, upon getting a raise, immediately spend more, keeping themselves in a constant state of depletion. There are people who win the lottery but lose everything within a few years. Others earn quite well, yet always feel broke. This has nothing to do with the amount of money they have, but everything to do with the gap between their subconscious and the state of prosperity. When you don't believe deep down that you deserve more, you'll unconsciously find ways to sabotage everything, not because you're foolish, but because you're being loyal to a belief system that's long been embedded within you. The truth you must face is this: you cannot hold on to anything greater than your inner capacity to receive. Your mindset is the mold, and money can only be poured into the mold you allow yourself to have. If that mold is cracked from old wounds, childhood criticism, or inherited beliefs like good people can't be rich, then no miracle can last long in your life. To change that, you don't need to do more. You need to return more. Return to recognize the inner programs you're unconsciously running. Return to listen to the story your inner voice is telling every day. Return to ask yourself, what do I believe about wealth? How do I treat money? Am I afraid of money? Or am I afraid of who I might become if I have a lot of it? This is not the work of logic. This is the work of deep awareness. Inner misalignment is not corrected through surface understanding, but through a quiet process, observing, conversing, forgiving, and redefining yourself. You cannot emit the frequency of abundance if your heart is still trapped in memories of lack, if your body still tenses at the thought of spending, if your breath is still shallow and rushed when receiving monthly bills. You must understand, money is not a reward for doing things right, nor a punishment for doing things wrong. Money is a reaction, neutral, precise, emotionless. It returns only to those who resonate with its essence of expansion, flow, and growth. If you are sending signals that oppose that essence, such as fear of losing money, the habit of hoarding out of anxiety, or the tendency to blame your circumstances, then you are blocking the flow right at the center of your inner being. Your current financial state is not a punishment. It is a mirror, and the mirror has no opinion. It only reflects what you are. If within you lies struggle, mistrust, and constant denial of self-worth, then the external world cannot offer a different experience. But just like a mirror, if you change your posture, your expression, your gaze, the reflection changes instantly. It's not that money is slow to come. It's that you are not yet ready to receive. It's not that the universe is testing you. It's that you're still clinging tightly to old contracts with lack. It's not that you're unlucky. It's that you haven't yet learned to stand firmly within the frequency of abundance as something that is already yours, not something to beg for, to strive for, or to manipulate into coming. You don't have to be perfect to start changing. You only need to be honest enough to look inward. Begin by observing the words you use daily when speaking about money. Identify the emotions that arise when you think about spending. Listen to the voice inside you when you see others succeed financially. Each reaction is a map pointing to where you are misaligned. And wherever there is misalignment, there needs to be adjustment, not through intellect, but through absolute honesty and the courage to go against every old programming. Abundance cannot enter a mind still closed in fear, and prosperity cannot harmonize with a heart that doesn't yet believe it is worthy. But the good news is, every misalignment can be corrected, not by force, but by returning to center, peeling away each false belief, and gradually restoring the vibrational balance between who you are and the flow of abundance that has always been waiting. Because prosperity never left,